I wasn't planning on addressing anything today, back home, because everything I am all about the police, because the police have no echo chambers there. All the echo chambers there is against the police. Even most of the YouTube bloggers and stuff, they are all about lower IQ behavior, derogatory behavior, and about other people's life. Nothing uplifting. They don't care, and all manner of madness. So as a farmer member of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, right through my entire life growing up, there was no echo chamber. There's no echo chamber or no one there looking out for the police. Most of the media houses, if not all, they always beating the drum against the police, because majority, of Jamaican people are poor and illiterate. You understand what I'm saying? Things that in Jamaica that is normal, in another country that's abnormal and a criminal behavior. But in Jamaica they normalize it, and others who stand up against it is seen as somebody who's had. So they don't make you like you're a normal person. My heart goes out to Mr. Burrells and his family for his loss, and wishing his son a speedy recovery, the one that was shot in his head by the so-called hero police, who is a rogue police. Mr. Burrell, you have to understand that Indicom was not set up for people like your son. Indicom is a Jamaican for Justice, because already complaining that you're not even getting any help from these people. You have to understand that, so that Jamaican for Justice is not there for people like your son. Jamaican for Justice is for criminals. You understand? It's designed for criminals. When I say criminals, hardcore criminal. Your son was not a criminal, and he's not aligned to the Jamaica Labour Party, so they're not going to do anything for him. You have to understand that Jamaican for Justice is an extension of the Jamaican Labour Party. You understand? And that's how you get Indicom. Indicom is a criminal cuddling agency. If you notice, the government do not talk about how many people been murdered every year. They talk about how many people, how many criminals, how many murderers life they save. They don't say it explicitly, because a majority of Jamaican people are illiterate. So their propaganda that they have been spreading is to protect the criminals. The reason why the government is not helping you is because the policeman that murdered your son and shot your son, the one that's in the hospital, in his head, is because the policeman that did it, he was bodyguarding one of their man. When I say their man, I'm talking one of the big time labor right gangster. 2 police guarding a man. I don't know if he's convicted of any crime, so I'm not saying that he's a criminal, but you understand, but he's a gangster. You know how Jamaica is. Gangster people who have access to gun, money, and influence. You understand what I'm saying? That he was able to get police from the police hierarchy to have documentation saying that this man have legitimate police bodyguarding him. I thought that they wanted to rid the force of corruption. So isn't this a form of corruption? And now the same policeman that the Indicom dubbing hero police is the real criminal, because if you look at it, the policeman who's in jail now said, and I have no reason to disbelieve, I'm the one who made the voice note that was a gas when based on what the media had spout out about the shooting at Shedwin Park and stuff like that. I was like, I cannot believe that you have policemen, that you have hired assassin in Jamaica, because when I was a cop, that was unheard of. You understand what I'm saying? I only know one policeman when I was a police, and he was an hired assassin, but he was aligned with the Tivoli people them, and he was involved in the robbery of the Craven trucks in the island during the early 1990s. Sorry for for digressing. So when it comes on to your son, you're not going to get any help from the Jamaican government because your son was not a labourite and he is not involved in any crime. You understand? And he was killed by somebody who's aligned to them. So they're gonna do everything to protect the policeman. I, as a former detective, I have seen, when I say I've seen, policemen that at the time we didn't have any income, policemen killed, a big time wanted man was killed by gunmen. Police, stupid, fool police, went there and fire shot in the dead man body. The man already died, and policemen fire shot in the dead man's body, and they were charged of murder. So I don't see why these policemen, and they weren't charged. They are not charged for the murder of Corporal Williams, the one that was killed, who was driving the Mark service vehicle, and your son, because that policeman should be arrested and charged for his action. Because at no time when he fired those shots, his life was in danger. Because if they're saying that the policeman and your son died from a motor vehicle accident, why is it that he fired bullets in their body and he's not being held accountable for his actions? Where is so Jamaican for justice, they are only there for criminals, and because this man, the policemen, they're aligned with the labor rights in Jamaica. Because you have to understand it's a corrupt system, They're aligned with the labor rights in Jamaica. So they are protecting them and using these two good policemen as scapegoat. Why they don't collect? The DPP has nothing to do with the ruling, You have to understand. Most police do not know that, unless you are a good investigator. The DPP don't really read the entire file. They read the report of the investigator. So whatever Terence Williams writes on that report and his recommendation, that is what Miss Llewellyn's deputies went off. They don't read the entire file, because sometimes a case file is so huge. It's a report, and then at the conclusion, because you're going to outline what the suspect or the suspects did, you understand, and why you recommend that they have been charged because of their actions. Nothing is mentioned in the report about the rogue police officer that was guarding the labor right boy. You understand? That if he was a good, if what his name, Junior Biggs, was a good boy, I think they would be blocking St. John's Road. Oh, nobody don't block any road for your son. And your son was a good man. Anyway, Mr. Burrell, I hope somebody is able to pass it on to you. If you, from information received and obtained, your son live in America. I don't know if he's a citizen or a resident, but if he's a resident or a citizen, wherever he lives in his zip code, they need to contact his congressional representative down in Washington, D.C. to apply some pressure to the Jamaican government, so you get an independent pathologist do the post-mortem. Because the policeman that shoot your son and the one in the hospital, he should be in jail for that. How he shot your son that even in that suffer, we don't see, just hope that he make it. He shot him in his head and a bullet is in his head. How he's not in jail for that? So they're gonna, because these policemen are aligned to the Jamaica Labour Party, the criminal wing of it, because this man that was killed in the dance at Spanish Town, in Chedwick Park, was now in jail. You understand? So they're gonna, so the policemen who witness, the policemen who witness the two rogue police kill your son, shot the other one in his head, and kill the other policeman, they are protected. Not even their names or anything. And normally I can tell you that anytime a fatal shooting happen in Jamaica, the entire entry and everything is in on WhatsApp, and you know who did what. This is the only shooting that I have never seen anything about it. You understand? Mr. Burrell, don't stop. If wherever in the state that your son live, let his wife or mother or whoever he has in the state to contact his representative in Washington, D.C., whether it's congressman, congresswoman, or his senator. You understand? And you will get help. Because what's happening there, this is really corruption. Big time. Because the so-called era police should be in custody. Era police officers, they should be in custody. You understand? Because it was more than two, you saw it with your own eyes, more than two men were firing guns at the vehicle them after the accident, after the so-called accident and the execution of your son and the other policeman. So how comes it's only two policemen they are saying no? So what happened to the other men that were in the car with him? Because this so-called man that was killed, he was no angel, he was no altar boy, going to church and all that stuff. You understand? He was a done. He has a video, that he does, smoking in his spliff, and people must afraid of him. I'm a criminal talk that way. You don't want nobody. You want people to love you. You understand? I'm a criminal, because their IQ, they have limited IQ. They want people to be afraid of them. They don't want nobody to love them. They want people because it's respect. Fear is not respect. You understand? Mr. Burrell, don't listen to these people. Your son was murdered, and the one that's in the hospital, the policeman that shoot him, should be in jail for shooting your son. Indicom is covering it up. You understand? Because your son is not a laborite or you are not a laborite. That's why they are treating you like that, and you have no political influence down here. So wherever in the United States your son live, they must contact their representative and let them know what's going on. Because nowhere, look at the other two policemen that they claim that murdered this Dan, and they said they did not find any gun with these men, because the policemen had to, after the accident, because of the amount of gunfire that was raining on the vehicle, they leave the gun. Because when accident, everything, whatever you have in your position is gonna fly all over the place, and he didn't have any time to even look for it. And they murdered Mr. Williams, Corporal Williams, and your son, and shot your other son in his head, and he's in hospital battling for his life. And on God earth, this policeman is not in jail. The criminal police that they call in era. You cannot be around somebody, guarding somebody who authorizes a man who is a militia leader in Jamaica, because these guys they are not dons anymore, they are militia leaders, because they pretty much have their little mini army, You understand? So I don't know who authorized or a policeman, because they claim that they are getting rid of corruption out of the police force when they are the one that's breeding it. Because no police should be around a man like that. A man who have militias and how much gunmen around him, and people collecting extortion money from business people and people that it is alleged that they're harder to get killed. Mr. Burrell, do not. If you notice, and you say you don't get any help from Jamaican for Justice. So you see that Jamaican for Justice is not Jamaica for Justice. Jamaican for Justice is really for criminal. Your son was not a criminal. He's not a bad man. You understand what I'm saying? So that is their agenda. You understand? The policemen who killed the policemen, or man who killed your son, they are aligned to the Jamaica Labour Party, which is in power, because the man that was killed, the Dan, he's a big time laborite. Your son was now a political activist and not a bad man. You understand what I'm saying? But if he's a green card holder, sir, you need to let his family in the United States contact his political representative in DC. Whatever zip code, there's a person that called congressperson and US Senator to apply pressure to them down there. You understand? Terrence Williams is not a friend of law and order. You understand? Because that policeman that shoot your son, that kill him, and the policeman should be charged too. Don't blame the DPP. The DPP is going over what she was given, what was submitted to her. You understand? And nobody's not, as you said, nobody's answered because they're covering it up. They're just waiting for a 9-day wonder for everything to go away and you don't say anything. You understand? Mr. Burrell, I wish you all the best, sir, and I hope you'll get some justice. Do not bury your son until you get an independent pathologist. Don't do it. These people, they are covering it up, and it's all because of politics. You have to get some outside help. Don't take any help from even their people down there, because as they say, even our doctors. So you see, even doctors are afraid of the system there. So you know that I'm telling you, that they know what's going on. You know, it's a criminal's paradise. You know, you understand? And it's sad. Have a nice day, Mr. Burrell, and my condolences again to you and your family. And the 2 policemen who are in custody, the ones that witnessed your son's murder, they're not interested in that. They're interested in protecting the 2 police officers and the gunmen that were traveling with them from information received. You understand? That's what I have heard, and it's all over. You were there and you're a witness, and if Mr. Terrence Williams and the Indicom people have an interest in justice, they would collect a statement from you, and for your son, that policeman or policemen that shoot your son, they should be in custody, just like the other 2 policemen. They're calling the other policemen rogue police because it is alleged that they killed a Don. Big, you understand? So they're coming down on them hard, whether it's them. I believe the police officer that it's not them, that this gun was, even they said that the ballistic, I believe the police officer that they planted the gun. The same police officer that killed Corporal Williams planted the gun. You understand? And these police officers, because these police officers, they would not fire back. They did not get a chat. They did not fire back on this man. The policeman murdered your son, Mr. Burrell, and the other one is there. But so it's two sons you have lost because of because of this Dan and him police friend them. You're going about your business. Mr. Burrell, get some outside help. Jamaica is a criminal's paradise, and they're doing, Indicom is doing what they're supposed to do to protect the gunmen them in Jamaica. You understand? Because it's big business, you know. Crime is big business in Jamaica. And Jamaica for Justice, which is a harm of the Jamaica Labour Party, which is in power. That's what they're doing too. You understand? All the best to you, Mr. Burrell, and have a nice day. Peace.